for instance, we waited until we got married to even be sexually intimate. So a lot of people said, well, if you didn't test the car, how do you know it's going to work when you get married? And I was so in love with him that that wasn't even a factor. Like, if the car don't work, I mean, we'll figure it out, so.
No, that car worked now. Let's just be clear.
The car is driving very well.
Welcome back to another episode of Flip That Switch. I am your host, Brandon, aka B to the Sis Naive, and we are back with another episode. If you didn't get a chance to go back and watch the previous episode, please go back and watch it. It's a great episode. As a matter of fact, before you watch this one, go back and watch that one. But today we're going to be diving into a new episode, and we're going to be interviewing a couple that I got the pleasure to travel with. I want to say it was about 2 years ago, maybe longer. But anyway, I love this couple's content. They are out here just traveling and living life unapologetically. And they are a beautiful couple. Me and my wife went on a vacation with them and some other folks to the Dominican Republic. And when I tell you this trip was just fun and exciting, it was a great trip. And I'm always skeptical about who I travel with because, I mean, you just never know how it's going to turn out, right? You just never know. You don't know the individuals like that to be like, okay, maybe not, maybe this will vibe, maybe we won't, maybe the energy will be there, maybe it won't. But from the time that we just landed and we met with them, the energy and the vibes were great, right? So definitely a couple that we would travel with again in the future and are going to travel with again in the future. We just got to coordinate when we're going to do that. But they do have a travel business, which is great. And so we'll also connect their information here at the end and we'll link it. But I would just like to introduce to the show my homies. Y'all ready? Y'all good?
Yes, absolutely.
Well, welcome to the show, y'all. We appreciate you doing this episode with us. And first of all, it's good to see y'all. It's been like, how long has it been?
It's been a few years. I feel like after COVID, time just escapes us and we can't even keep track, but it has to be maybe 2 or 3 years.
Yeah, I think so. I think it's been around 2 or 3 years, but we still watch you guys' content on IG. We still love to see what you guys are doing.
I appreciate that.
Yeah, absolutely. And how y'all are evolving and traveling is still a part of y'all's lifestyle. Because trust me, we had our daughter and we kind of put traveling on hold, but we getting back to it, man, because traveling is the thing. We love to do it, and we think that is really what kind of just helps us really strengthen our relationship as a couple. We can get out. We have the same goals as far as where we want to go, the things we want to see, documenting that journey. I just love to see y'all doing y'all thing, man. Y'all are a beautiful couple, and y'all out here getting it.
Well, we appreciate it. Thank you so much for having us. When you mentioned us being on your podcast, we were excited. We wanted to support, but you guys are doing big things. You are our content heroes. I remember when we met on the first trip in the DR, you were telling us how everything got started. I was just like, man, if we could get to Destiny and Brandon's level, we will be saying something.
We want to get to y'all's level, man. Y'all, look, y'all's travel trips be crazy. The content be crazy. We see y'all, man. We love what y'all are doing.
We appreciate that.
Thank you.
So we'll dive right in. So talk to us a little bit about how y'all met and kind of like what that backstory is and how'd y'all get together to where now y'all are married and doing what y'all do.
Man, the story. There's 2 different versions, but we'll give you the edited version where we can actually somewhat agree on, right?
Somewhat. We'll see.
Well, actually, before I even went to college, one of my friends, we were just chatting, and he invited me to church.
Okay.
And when I went to church and I saw everyone there, they were all so friendly. At that church spirit, everyone's like, welcoming you.
Hey, how are you?
And everyone was so friendly except for this guy.
I was very friendly.
This guy.
I just didn't see her back there because I had my head down. about the law business.
And I was just like, who's he? Who does he think he is? And I'm like, to my friend, like, but who's that over there? Why is he not, coming over? And he's like, oh, that's my friend. They called him Amp, but his name is Anthony. And we went out a couple times as a group, like a big group hanging out. And he didn't really pay me any attention, so I kind of
attention.
Let it go.
I saw you over there.
And I went away to college, and my last year in college, my dad ended up getting sick with prostate cancer. And I came back early from college. And the same night that I came back, that same friend that brought me to church before and was inviting me out, he said, why don't you come over? My sister's having a baby shower. Get out the house. You've been like moping for months about your dad. So I went, and Anthony was there. He didn't tell me that.
Funny thing is, I didn't even remember that was even a baby shower, because they're Jamaican. You claim that you're having a baby shower, but it's really a turn up for adults.
And
party for adults.
Yeah, like your daughter's 1-year birthday. That was a turn up for adults.
I didn't see Ocean's birthday party.
Yeah, we it's funny, we celebrated her. She turned 1 on the 14th, and you're right, like, we had a birthday party for us or for her, but it was crap. And I swear I had more fun than I think she did any kids. I was out there like I was 1 year old, So I definitely agree with you on that.
She's gonna see the videos in a couple of years when she can comprehend, and she's like, "Oh wow, look at everybody, all this support."
Oh my goodness! So I ended up seeing him there, and he was in his own world again. So I'm like, whatever.
We were playing. Remember, the Jamaican, so we're playing dominoes. So you got to focus. You don't want to be messing up, and
So I ended up, eventually leaving. And as I was leaving, he came over to me. He started talking to me.
Because I lost.
And this is like the story of like making people think I have low self-esteem or something.
It wasn't even about that. I was like, man, we lost. Oh, Lisa over there.
So I was like, whatever. And he came over and started talking to me. And I was like, all right, well, I'm heading out. And that same friend ended up performing at UM like a week later, and he was persistent on making sure we got together for some reason. So I told him, like, hey, I would love to come and support your show, but I don't know how to get to UM, the University of Miami. So he said, oh, no, my friend, I'll give him your number and he'll give you directions.
Got him.
So once he got my phone number, he started calling every day,
seeing if she needed directions anywhere else, grocery store, the mall,
And from that day, when he started calling me, we just became really good friends for several months, and it just eventually led to a relationship.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Yeah.
That is awesome. So how long you guys been married?
Whew.
This year will be 19 years.
19 years.
10 years.
Yeah.
That's amazing how something like that moment turns into 19 years of marriage.
Yeah.
It's wild.
Yeah, it's crazy. No one could have told me that. Like, even on the way to the wedding, I was like, I hope this works.
Oh, hilarious.
Because, we had a great foundation. We trusted in God. We truly believe that, we were meant for each other, but you never know.
Yeah. Yeah. You just never know.
I knew I was going to marry her the first time we went out. I felt it in my soul. And I went back to my job at the time, and I told my friend that, man, I'm going to end up marrying her. He's like, how do you know? I'm like, man, I know. When you know, you know. I felt it deep. It's only a few times in my life where I felt the Lord was giving me direct divine insight. There's probably like 6 times in my life, and when that happened, it ended up happening. I knew it. So I wasn't worried.
Was she checking off a lot of your boxes that you had? Was that the confirmation that you knew, like, okay, yeah, like, what was it about her that she was doing that you just felt it like?
That's a good question.
One.
That's a good question. I can't even tell you because I didn't even really have boxes to check. I was still in college. I wasn't really thinking like, oh yeah, I'm gonna get married in 2 years or so. Well, I did in my mind. I felt like by 25 I want to get married. By 27 you want to have kids. But at that time, I wasn't really. I was just, I wasn't even looking for somebody at that time either. You know what I mean? But it's just, I just knew it. I just knew like this is the person for me, and no matter what, I'm gonna fight through it. And that was through the first date, not even like actually dating.
Yeah. Our first date was really special, and I think we both knew it. If for me, I just knew something was different, and I laughed so hard. We went ice skating, and I laughed so hard that my cheeks were hurting.
Yeah.
It just felt like a safe space. And and we had been friends for some months at that point. Yeah. So we were just so comfortable.
And we knew of each other over a couple of years, but not like close enough though.
Right.
Through a mutual friend.
That is awesome. I love hearing stories like that. Because you don't like, you hear love stories, but a lot of love stories you just don't hear where it's like the Cinderella meets the prince type of situation anymore. It's kind of like, I was comfortable with the person, so we got together and all that. And so stories like this, I can really truly appreciate because I don't know, I just love how people get connected with each other. It really is like one move you make, and then next thing you know, like y'all 19 years in the game. I met Destiny at a pool party, and I've told this story several times, but when we got introduced to each other, we just said what's up and kept it moving at the party. I'm like, oh hey, how you doing? She's like, hey, what's up? And I didn't see her again for a month after that. But I wasn't thinking about her either. Like it was just kind of one of those things. And I don't mean that in a negative way. It was just like it was out of sight, out of mind, right? Mm-hmm. And so when I ran into her a month later, it was something different than the first time. Like I literally ran into her, not knowing. We just happened to be at the same spot.
The same pool party? Another pool party?
No, this was we used to turn up. we used to turn up. So yeah, we was out there. But when I ran into her again at the day party, it was different. I'm like, you know what? Not only did I remember her, but I was like, I got to pursue her because it was just this energy that she had that just kind of like swept over me. It's kind of like you said you laughed so hard, you felt the vibe and the energy.
Yeah.
And for me, it was like she had this energy, this positive energy, and it just infected me. And I was like, yep, I got to pursue her. So our first date was I asked her, I got her number. I was like, hey, you want to go to church with me tomorrow? And of course, that was my question to see if she was a church going.
Spiritual, yeah.
So she's like, oh, of course. So we went to church and the rest was history after that. But I totally agree about those type of moments where it's like, imagine me not running into her at that day party. Like, what would I be doing? What would life be like for me? Would I even have a child? Would we be married? You know what I'm saying? Like, you are looking back on all those things, like one moment changed everything.
Yeah.
So anyway, I said that to say I can really appreciate the story because I love just hearing love stories like that. It's totally awesome, man. So yeah. So let's get into this traveling because what I want to know is first and foremost, like I said, y'all are out here killing it. I don't know how many places y'all been, but I'm sure it's a lot. I love seeing when y'all travel.
Not enough.
What made you guys? Okay, so let me ask you this: when y'all got together, was it a passion for both you guys to travel?
That's so funny. Such a good question.
No.
So when I met him, he was scared of flying.
Yeah. I was like, Mr. T on the 18. You have to give me a shot, knock me out.
If you saw, we have footage, and we have to find this footage to put some content to it. for our honeymoon video, we have video. He's like,
I wasn't crying.
I didn't say you were crying. I was making the facial expression.
My face wasn't like that.
He was like focused. He was in prayer. He was like, "Don't talk to me unless you need something."
Stop interrupting my tongue.
And from that, just with his work, like his 9 to 5, they started having him go out and train and do all
and travel and stuff.
So he eventually loved it.
About 2 years later, I started opening my eyes on the plane.
Yeah. But I always had a love for travel. So I'm just so happy that you fell into that love as well.
Yeah.
So you just had a fear of flying? Was it like a phobia or? Yeah,
just a fear of flying. When I was a kid, I loved flying. But then as I got older, I was like, oh man, I don't want to fly. What if something happens? Even though driving a car is a higher probability of getting into some accident than you are in a plane. But still, it was like, it was a phobia of flying. And I didn't even really want to go anywhere. I didn't care about seeing the world. I was like, I'll just look on TV and watch it. National Geographic.
So where was you guys' first trip to?
Like on a plane or locally? Like,
on a plane.
On a plane, our honeymoon was actually our first trip.
Okay.
Yeah.
Where'd you go?
So that was, we went to Jamaica.
Yeah, that was fun.
And that's when I found out about his fear. Like I knew about it, but found out it was that severe. And then we're hoping, because we will be at 20 years next year, that we can go back to Jamaica, go into that same resort, take the pictures again.
That'd be hilarious if we could recreate that.
Yeah.
But we enjoyed Jamaica.
Yeah, we stayed at oh my gosh, Sandals Ocho Rios, and it wasn't that great of experience back then because it was just older.
Yeah.
We weren't in the travel game at that time to have someone advise us, so they switched us to the Royal Plantation, and that ended up being really, really nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
That was 5-star. It's a smaller resort. It wasn't as big as the Sandals Ocho Rios, but it was smaller, it's more intimate, but you're able to go to all the other Sandals properties when you're staying at one. Mm-hmm. So we were able to go to the other ones where they had more of the parties and all the excitement and whatnot, and then come back to this one where it was a little bit more quiet, but it was great.
That's awesome, man. So let me ask you this. When you found out about his fear of flying, obviously you had a passion for traveling, right? If he wouldn't have gotten over his fear of flying, would that have been a deal breaker for you?
It wouldn't have. Oh. It really wouldn't have. No. Like, for instance, we waited until we got married to even be sexually intimate. So a lot of people said, well, if you didn't test the car, how do you know it's going to work when you get married? And I was so in love with him that that wasn't even a factor. Like, if the car don't work, we'll figure it out, so.
Oh, that car worked now. Let's be clear.
The car is driving very well.
Yeah, you didn't know if it was going to be a Honda or a Bugatti. Yeah, you got it out.
Yeah.
I'm very pleased with the way the car drives. But so if things like that, I feel like a lot of people, they get caught up on, like, I need my man to be, have
all
the checkbook box.
Yeah.
This, and this. And, like, the friendship, the foundation, the love, they mean so much more to me than that. And even though travel is my passion, if I had to do it with friends or family and not do it with him, it would have still worked out. But it's amazing that I get to do it with my best friend.
Yeah.
Ooh, that's a mic drop moment.
Preach.
Hey, look, I didn't know. I didn't know you had a preacher next to you. I did not know. That is dope. That is dope. Okay, so you guys are traveling, and then at some point you turn this into a business. So whose idea was that, and then why did you decide to turn it into a business? What was the thought process there?
So because I love travel so much, he was always saying, like, Anthony's very business minded. Like, everything, he's ready to start a business. And I was a little reluctant because my mother was a business owner and I didn't see her for several years. She was, just because the business can consume you. And
well, you saw her, but barely.
Yeah, it's just like she was just, and it was a sacrifice she made for our family. But she had a nursing home and she just had to be there all the time. So for me to see her, like my last couple of years of high school, we would go to the nursing home because that's how we spent quality time.
I helped change diapers.
No, I did not. Oh. So I was always a little hesitant. Anthony saw that I had a food blog and travel blog, and he was just like, "Hey, like, how are you going to, like, monetize this?" And I was like, "I don't know. It's just a hobby." And he was saying, "I think you should be a travel consultant." And I was like, whatever.
Don't listen to me.
And then we ran into this lady in Jamaica at another trip we were on. And she saw the blog and she said, "Whoa, you have so many followers. You're basically telling people where to travel, where to eat. Why don't you become a travel consultant?" And like when she said it, it was like, oh, I never thought of that before. So
you don't never want to listen to us, but then when a third party comes in, all of a sudden it's, oh yeah, I didn't think about that.
First time she met the lady, she said it, I'm like, oh, what a genius idea.
So I ended up working for that company for a couple of years, but they were very Disney focused, and our client, my clientele wasn't really into Disney. So one night we were just watching, what's the show called? Sunset.
No. It's a real estate reality show.
Oh, like Selling
Sunset.
Selling Sunset. We were watching that. Yeah. And we just saw, like, it was so similar when you have like the brokerage or the travel agency with the consultants under you.
Yeah.
And we were just like, wow, this is like in the middle of 2020, pandemic's here. I was like, do you think we could? And we both looked at each other and he's like, of course, own our own.
Why not?
And he was all for it. And we opened our agency in the middle of COVID. Crazy. We're crazy. And then I ended up catching COVID. So I had a few days of sickness, but I was isolated. So I had 10 days in isolation to start doing all the business stuff. And by the time I came out of that room, we were in business.
Whole business plan was written. Like, you were in there working.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Wow. That's, yeah. For a lot of people, COVID was, unfortunately, it was terrible for a lot of people. And I mean, I even got it. I had got it before it even was a thing. Like, I got it before it was like, they knew it was COVID,
Really?
Wow.
Yeah, mine was like, so COVID was what, 2020?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That's when it officially became a thing, but I had caught it at late 2019 when it was when it was a thing, but it wasn't officially a thing, if that makes any sense. So I had got it in, I look at it as like I said, for a lot of people, it affected a lot of people in a negative way, but it was actually a blessing in disguise for us because it allowed us to also start our YouTube channel, and we were doing TikTok and IG, and that's when we started doing skits and pranks on each other. So, because our channel was originally supposed to be a travel channel. We were supposed to document.
I never knew that.
Yeah. We wanted to do a travel channel on YouTube to try to document our journey, show people places to go when we travel, and kind of just do that. And so, our first YouTube video was a cabin trip we did, and we ended up going to St. Lucia and documenting that. And we were like, oh yes, we could do this. And then COVID, that's when it officially, and so we weren't traveling, but we had to pivot and figure out something else. And then we started doing pranks and stuff. And then we did the proposal, which went viral. And so it was kind of a blessing in disguise for us. And I really don't like saying that because I don't want to be insensitive to the people that it affected negatively, but COVID like really was a blessing for us because it allowed us to really just start our journey and our theme, you know. So I can appreciate.
A lot of businesses started during COVID.
Yeah. So so you start the business. What did the promotion look like? How are you telling people about, you know, what I'm doing? Like, talk to me a little bit about how that got started. Because obviously you got the agency, it's established. You're like, okay, now we got to get customers on board or people on board. What did that process look like for y'all?
Right, because now we're in a time where everyone's scared to travel.
Oh yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah, but while I was working at the other agency, I had a social media group called I Can't Wait on Friends to Travel. So I already had like 1,200 people at the time that was in a community. So they already trusted us. They were already, you know, like a group. So that was helpful. But the key thing that really took the cake was we love reality TV and well, I should say I love shows and reality TV, and he just comes and watches it with me.
Yep.
That's how it is for you too.
That's how we get to spend time with you. Pull up a
But
chair.
you know what? But you know, the trade-off is she does watch wrestling with me and some football games. So
oh, see, Destiny's beating me.
Yeah.
I can appreciate the sacrifice on both ends because she does. You know, I'm sure sometimes she doesn't want to sit there and watch football or she doesn't want to watch wrestling, but she'll come in there and watch it and she'll watch as much as she can take it. And she's like, all right, well, I'm just gonna go ahead and mosey on in the other room now. But I can appreciate that. We both kind of sacrifice in that area. So, well, go ahead.
No, of course.
When you gonna come watch a football game?
I'm gonna try.
Have you been to the stadium with me ever?
To a football game?
Yeah.
No, I've never been to. But before I tell
Look
you,
what you done started, Brendan.
Listen. This is the season. I need you to. This is what I'm challenging you to do, Lisa.
okay.
I'm challenging you to watch one football game with him from start to finish.
Yeah.
That means first quarter, second quarter, third quarter, fourth. The only way you can get out of it is if it's a blowout going on.
Yeah.
Jeez.
And my Bills ain't gonna get blown out. I'm a Bills fan.
Okay.
Buffalo Bills.
I will definitely watch it. I may have my audiobook hidden in my ear.
Okay. Hey, as long as you're present.
Baby steps. Baby steps. But
as long as you're present.
And I'll tell you this before we get into your question. I tried to take him to a basketball game and surprise him because I wanted to, you know, support him. But I'm not used to picking seats on like when you select the seats for the teams or the court.
Yeah.
So I picked like 23A and 23B, not knowing that there was going to be a huge like divide, like a walkway between
the stairs. You said 23A and B. It was more like 93 because I had to get binoculars to see. I appreciated it. Now, don't get me wrong, but I was like...
On the map, the seats were together, but there was a little slit. I thought, okay. I didn't know that was the walkway between, so I was over here like, hey, babe. And we were separated. So I tried.
You did good. You get kudos points for effort.
A for effort.
That's right. That's right.
So, but I even lost my spot. What were you asking us before?
Oh no! What I was asking is how did you start doing the promotion and stuff to get people on board?
Perfect. So we were watching
another reality show.
It was called Married at First Sight.
Okay.
And I just fell in love with this couple named Amani and Woody.
Okay.
And I was just like, they just were the epitome of Black beautiful love. It was just so refreshing in contrast to what everything else was being shown on TV at the time. Mm-hmm. And I reached out to them and I said, hey, you know, like I feel like we needed this love story during the pandemic, and I really believe that everyone wants to meet you, travel with you. And they were like, let's do it. And I was like, okay. So that was, we talked in 2020. We scheduled the trip for July 4th weekend of 2021. And I was nervous. Are people going to travel in 2021? Yeah. And they came out. And I mean, we had such a good time on that trip. It was just like, they were so into music. So it was like, the music was flowing. We were dancing when there wasn't music. Yeah. It was just like everyone was
I'm
just...
not even a dancer, but I was like,
he
so
was
infectious.
Dancing too. I think we all were just like so free. Like we're out of the pandemic. We're in the Caribbean.
Yeah.
And it was just amazing. And when we looked around at that time, I think we both were just like, this is gonna be something. And just took it from there.
And just took it from there. Wow.
Yeah.
That is awesome, man. I think when you're able to turn your passion into a business and something that could potentially be lucrative, I think that's the goal for like so many individuals. And so the fact that you guys did that, and now are you still working your 9-to-5s?
Great question.
I am. I'm still working 9-to-5, but she's full time.
Yes. So I am full time. Yeah. I used to be in the medical field. I worked in pediatrics. When the pandemic came, because I have lupus, I couldn't get sick from the kids. So during that break is when we started our company. And when things calmed down after COVID, I went back to practice medicine, and the business was taken off to the point where I was like, oh my gosh, like I need to be at the business. And God has given us this idea, this business to run. Let's see what happens with it. And we've been going full throttle for maybe like 4 years. Yeah.
5 years soon.
Yeah.
Lisa actually does everything for the business. For the most part. I mean, I do things like behind the scenes or whatnot to help out, but she's kind of in the forefront of the business and managing the travel agents, and she has a staff of like 3 people that actually help with the onboarding and with social media and the videos and stuff. But it's exciting to see just how it's the maturation process that the business has gone through.
Absolutely. So let me ask you this. So with me and, like I said earlier, with me and Destiny Travel, like one thing that we love to do is go to the ocean, right? The ocean is kind of like our calming place. That's kind of why we named our daughter Ocean, because it's just hearing the water and the waves and just seeing just people watching and just being there and, just kind of just being one with each other in those moments and just sitting back. It really just helps to kind of like relax our minds, and we decompress, and we really just think about things, and we kind of put away all the hustle and bustle just in that moment to just sit at the beach and just relax. So my question to you is, how does traveling strengthen your relationship? How does it deepen your relationship when you guys are traveling and obviously you're in your passion? What is that doing for your relationship?
Yeah, that's a good question. During the pandemic, there were people who end up separating and getting divorces because they're like, oh man, I didn't realize being around this person all day long. Like I realized maybe I don't really like them as much as I do. Like we've heard so many stories, and then so now when we both work from home and we travel together, people are like, oh, you're around each other all the time. Well, like Lisa said, we're like each other's like best friend. And especially when we go on these trips, especially like a wellness resort, where we've been to a couple of wellness resorts where you can't have your cell phone out in public areas or whatnot. So you're really intentional in terms of your communication and your bond and the different activities. It's all mindful related. And I feel like these trips have really brought us closer, even when we've gone to Europe and just seeing we like both acting like kids certain places. Like, oh my God, we're in Italy, we're in Istanbul, Turkey. Oh my God, we're in Ephesus. I was like, man, we were like reading the Bible. We were brought up scriptures when Paul was in certain areas, and it just brings everything together. It's really strengthened our bond more than I could even imagine.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's the connection. It's the connection.
And I think it just keeps the honeymoon phase going.
Yeah.
Like, I really do. Like, to experience a new culture, people, world with someone, it's just, we have this bond because of it that it's just, it can't be matched. Like, I truly hope God allows us to stay together forever. But if for some reason it didn't work out, I'm like, your next wife is gonna have nothing on me. She can't show you any of this stuff.
No. But we ain't gonna speak that.
Exactly.
We not even gonna go there. But in fairness, right. I'll be thinking like, man, Destiny was with someone else. Would they have taken her to Barbados on the first trip? Nah. That was all me. All me. So, no, that's awesome. Okay, so let me ask you this: who's the planner as far as when it comes to traveling? Like, which one of y'all plan? Which one of y'all does the itineraries? Like, who does that? Is it both? Is it one of you?
Well, that's a good question. When it comes to selecting seats based on that previous story, I take care of the flight. I'm taking care of all the flights.
So let me tell you about Anthony. Remember the guy who was nervous to fly? He didn't fly often, didn't travel often. Excuse me. 19 years later, the man is bougie.
No, I'm not.
So because he wants first class and lay flats and all that stuff. Depends on how far we're going. I let him take care of the flights. Even on his last birthday trip, I just had to tell him, like, we're going to Arizona, just book the flights.
Let me book it, because I don't want to be on no boo-boo.
Yeah, but for the hotel and the itinerary, that's me.
Okay.
Because he did take us to a pretty bad hotel when we were dating. And I was like, never again.
I didn't know what I didn't know.
Never again.
It wasn't that bad.
So we learned with time our strengths. So
yeah. No, that's hilarious. So I'm kind of like the same way. I'm a bougie traveler too. I mean, I don't. So it's funny because, like, back in the day when I was single and I was traveling, I really didn't care what hotel I went to, because I was like, man, I ain't even gonna be in the hotel anyway. I'm gonna just be out. I just need somewhere to sleep. And it's crazy how I've done such a 180 now, especially with being married and stuff. It's like, okay, now I don't want her to experience those Motel 6s that I went to, or the little Holiday Inns, or the little cheapy rinky-dink hotel like that. So literally, it has to be at least, like, if we're going to a known city or a known place, it has to be at least 4 stars.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And preferably 5, but if we can get away with 4. Now, there's certain places that we've gone where, I mean, you're not going to get a 4-star. Like, we just went on vacation, and I think they're to New Jersey, and like their highest star for the area was maybe like a 3, which is like, okay, there's nothing you can do about that. You want to just get something way out, and then and we were going to see friends, right? So I didn't want to have to like drive every single day, just to go see them. So we were like, we'll just stay somewhere close. And the hotel wasn't bad. Actually, for their area, the 3-star is really like, that's what it is, So but yeah, like, if we were going to like New York or LA or something like that, I gotta have at least 4, 4.5, 5 stars. At least, we're not gonna do the Spirit flights or anything like that. Even though back in the day I did do Spirit, when I was single, because it was cheap. Now it's like, no, it's got to be American or Southwest. So in that sense, I'm a bougie traveler. I don't know how I became that way, but I like night being in a nice situation, when I'm out of town,
Yeah.
we're away from home. We don't get to sleep in our own beds. We don't have our own showers or nothing like that. So I need something that's at least the equivalent or almost equivalent. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So yeah, I definitely agree with you on that. Okay, so I'm gonna get you out of here on this question. I always ask my guests this question as we end the episode, but let's say you're talking across the table to 20-year-old Lisa and Anthony, and they come here and like, I do want to travel, but I just I don't know. Maybe the resources aren't there for me to do it, or I just, we want to do it, but we don't know how it's going to go. We like to travel with other couples, but we don't know how it's going to go. So they just come to you asking you for advice, on how to navigate just traveling as a couple, period, getting started. What type of advice would you give them?
For my younger self, I would say just start local. And surprisingly, our family's from the Caribbean, so we spent so much time trying to save up for these Caribbean trips. And the U.S. has so much to offer. We're now in our 40s, like, oh my gosh. Like, we just came back from Austin and it was gorgeous. We went to Tucson, amazing. The whole state of California, so I think that I think there's so much pressure to fly to Europe and Australia and Africa and Asia. But if you don't have the money or the means at that age, just start with the staycations and then just keep on going a little bit further each time.
Love it.
Yeah, I would agree with you on that. I even within the state of Florida, I should have been traveling more within the state of Florida. We have so much to offer, and we were actually doing a lot of that initially where we got married. We would go to Marco Island, we'll go to Naples, Orlando. We went to I forgot the island up the east coast of Florida where Gloria Estefan has a hotel. We've done a bunch of local stuff, and then even when I happened to both live in New York, we didn't know each other at the time, but even stuff in New York, Martha's Vineyard, Utah, there's just so much. I would encourage myself, my younger self, to not be afraid of flying, for one. You're in God's hands, so you have nothing to worry about, and just to really get out there and see the world, and then start small, and then go further from there.
I love it. Actually, what you guys just said is a reminder to me because, I'm so gun set on going out the country and us going out the country and seeing what the world has to offer. And it's kind of like sometimes I have to sit back and realize that, you know what, man, there's a lot of stuff that the States have to offer. Like there's a lot of places that we haven't been in the States. We've been to a lot of places in the States, but there's a lot of places that we haven't been. So like, for example, going to see the Grand Canyon, I'd like to have that experience. Or, we recently, this past year, we went to Seattle for the first time.
I love Seattle.
Yeah, I loved Seattle.
Yeah.
We love going to the little Space Needle and just, seeing the little coffee shops and just really, it's a whole different culture out there. Maybe us, I told Destiny I wanted us to do like an East Coast trip where we basically fly into like, I don't know, Virginia and just drive up to like Baltimore, drive up to DC, drive up to Philly, like spend a couple of days in each spot and then fly out, something like that. So you saying that just reminded me, yes, there is so many things that we really can see in the States, and you can start small. And by the time you finish like doing all that stuff in the States, you're going to have so much under your belt that at that point it's like, okay, now maybe I can transition to going out the country, but you don't have to start big. You can, like you said, you can start small, So I definitely appreciate that. That was actually a reminder for me. So I can because I'm always trying to go big. Like I'll be like, man, let's go to Bali or Australia and it's like, well, we could do that, but also just remember like there's stuff in the States that we can do too that is a lot cheaper,
You're
But
right.
this was good, man. I appreciate y'all for stopping on through and doing the
We're
episode
so
with
happy
us.
to
Yeah,
be here.
we're happy, man. That time went by quick.
But it goes by when you just talking and having fun, man.
Yeah, you're right.
Definitely was a pleasure to interview you guys and have you on.
We appreciate it.
Yes, for sure.
Yeah, and we do got to do another trip.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Oh yeah.
We will make it happen.
Yeah, because y'all are cool. Y'all, y'all not too bad. Y'all all right with me.
Well, and I don't want to take up too much time. I know you're wrapping up, but I want to let just give you and Destiny your flowers because we did the Dominican Republic trip with you guys, and typically we have an itinerary for our influencers, and we would go and have the cocktail party or the dinner, and then that's all you had to do. You could have went back to your room. You're like, what's next?
Yeah.
Next day we're doing an excursion, and you're like, are we going to eat with everyone? Are we going to hang out with everyone? Like you made everyone feel so welcome, so special, like a true friendship. And we were laughing at those dinners like our cheeks could not stop hurting. It was hilarious. I mean, I remember to this day, there are inside jokes that we have from that trip that Destiny was saying that we still say. We're like, not dinter. So we would do another trip with you guys in a heartbeat.
Absolutely. We for sure got to make that happen, and we'll make it happen because it was a fun time, and that's what, like I said, that's what it's all about. It's about traveling with someone, and it feels like it's family. You're laughing, the vibe is good, the energy's good. You never want to get into a situation where you travel with someone and then the trip just goes south, and all of a sudden you're like, I mean, because we pay our hard-earned money, right, to travel. And a lot of people, I mean, they save up to travel. They've saved up maybe 6 months to be able to have this experience. And if it gets ruined, then it's just bad for everyone.
Yeah, exactly.
We've been on a trip like that where it was a bad situation, and we told ourselves we would never travel with those individuals again because we just can't. Like, we pay too much.
That's so true.
And the trip needs to go good. So,
and the mindset you have is exactly why we work so hard for all of our clients for each trip, because some people, that's their one trip for the year.
Yeah.
So we really want to make sure it's memorable.
Yep, absolutely. Well, thank you guys again.
Thank you.
And make sure you guys are following us on IG where we post reels from the episodes. And if you can't watch us, you can listen to us wherever you get your podcasts at Flip That Switch. So make sure whether you're watching us or listening to us, you're tapping in with us. And also, if you have a story that you want to get out there, you'd like to be a guest on the Flip That Switch podcast, please let me know in the comments. I'll be more than happy to sit down, interview you, get your story out there. Maybe it can resonate with someone. Maybe it can help someone who is going through a similar situation. So if that's you, make sure you hit me in the comments. But Lisa, Anthony, again, thank y'all so much.
We appreciate it.
We out for the next episode, and we out. Peace.